evil child labor, coal dust. They just look like they're like little Disney dirty orphans. They got soot all over their face. Please don't make me work in the tractor one more day, Daddy, please. She just doesn't want to hurt the family farms. Right. Here she is talking about how much she loves the family farm. Watch how she loses eye contact when she says, you know, I don't want to hurt the family farm. Watch this.
We are concerned when there are fatalities, when we still see the second largest rate of fatalities occurring on farms. And while I don't have a problem with children working on their parents' or relatives' farms, that is a question that we're going to be seeking comment on. And I certainly personally agree that you know, those are things that should be allowable, quite frankly. But I do know that we have to protect and prevent any further injuries from young people that are working in settings that are not protected. We've had serious fatalities, a record of more than, say, 21.3% per 100,000. And I just received a report that was issued yesterday by the Journal of Pediatrics that also states very clearly that we have seen an increase in rise in injury and costs to businesses because of fatalities and young people in agriculture. Not all of them have been with direct work on farms, but many of them in the agricultural industry. So I think there is a compelling reason to look at this rule. We haven't upgraded the rule for 40 years. And the way business is done on farms has changed a bit. We just want to make sure that we get it right, that we get the most abundant comments from people that are out in the field that are running these operations, and to do our best to try to inform farmers and business owners that we want to work with them.
This hasn't been updated.
Much technical assistance and help as we can.
It hasn't been updated in 40 years, and things are getting worse. Really? It hasn't been touched in 40 years. Farms are more dangerous today than they were 40 years ago when Jeffro was out in the back. People falling into haymaking machines. What are you talking about? Oh, it's so much more dangerous. There's a lot to unpack here. Let me go. First of all, I hate to be all upset here because she was very thoughtful. She's imposing the regulations on America and then gracing us with their presence so we can beg for mercy and beg them, which tasks and chores can I give my children? Dear government, which tasks and how can I raise my children? God bless America, land of the free, or something like that. 2, the law does affect the family farm because of how difficult farms are to pass on from one generation to the next. Most are only partially owned, other parts owned by aunts and uncles. Therefore, most are not exempt. And by the way, everybody I know worked on a farm. It wasn't either, it was their farm, their grandparents' farm, their aunt and uncle's farm, or a friend's farm. So it kind of didn't work that way. Maybe it does in Los Angeles, but not in the rest of the country. The other thing Solis says gives justification for the new farm rules. These are great, by the way. Farm-related injuries are relatively high, indicating that it is a dangerous, dangerous field. Okay. Let's look into that, because kids could be blowing themselves up with dynamite, because that's, I think, the way you pick corn. Let's look at all the kids dying on the farm, film 11 epidemic that Solis is warning us of. 113. 113 people under the age of 20 die every year. Oh. How big is that? 0.00008% of the time there's a farm accident. 5,000 out of about 25 million teens die in a car crash every year. 5,000. That's 0.002% of the time. And this time, unlike the deficit, the small number is bigger. Teen car accidents are about 3 times more prevalent than youth farming accidents. 3 times. So, Hilda, youth farming does not have relatively high injuries. In fact, what, compared to sleeping? A tractor is far safer than driving on the road. So thanks for your help to curb all of the farming child labor scandals that are out there in America. But here's the truth, America. This isn't about child labor. These kids who don't get participation trophies because they're working on the farm. Learn responsibility and the value of hard work. It's common sense. But the current administration doesn't think so. No. I wonder, should we let them know about the Bernstein Bears? Have you seen this? Look at this anti-child propaganda. Child labor! Child labor is just spilling out into your living room. Your kids are watching brother and sister Bear get a summer job at Farmer Ben's house. What are